Okay, let's be real. We are all swimming in AI hype right now. But once you get past all the buzzwords, how do you actually use it to create real, tangible business value? Well, that's exactly where we're going to break down today. We're going to walk through an expert playbook for turning all that AI potential into results you can actually see. This quote from Vectaris CEO Amr Awadallah just nails it. This isn't just about making computers faster. Think about this. For the very first time, technology is learning to speak our language instead of forcing us to learn its. And that, right there, changes absolutely everything.
So, that brings us to the million-dollar question for any business leader, right? It's one thing to be amazed by the tech, but how do you actually harness this power for growth, for efficiency, for a real competitive edge? Let's dive in.
To really get it, we have to start by reframing how we think about this. See, AI isn't just another tool you add to the company toolbox. No, it's more like a completely new language for doing business. And it is fundamentally rewriting the rules of how we interact with technology. You know, this timeline really puts it into perspective. Back in the day, you had the command line. Only experts could use it. Then came Windows 95 with its menus and mouse. And suddenly, way more people could use the computer. The iPhone made it even simpler with touch. Now, each of those waves forced us to reinvent pretty much every application. Well, AI is the next huge wave, because anyone, and I mean anyone, can use natural language. Every single piece of software we use is now up for a total reinvention.
So what's the biggest, most immediate win from this shift? It's just massive efficiency. We're talking about tasks that used to take hours, sometimes even days, getting crunched down into minutes. This isn't just a tiny improvement, it's a complete transformation in how work gets done. But what in the world is fueling this incredible new engine? It's not some magic new invention. It's actually the one thing that every single business is already sitting on a mountain of: your data. Let's just be crystal clear about this, because it's the most important rule of the game. It's really this simple. Without data, there is no AI. You can have the fanciest, most powerful models on the planet, but if they don't have good, relevant data to learn from, they're basically just expensive paperweights. And hey, don't just take my word for it. The people with the money are saying the same thing. As investor Ruben Ortega says, they're actively hunting for companies with unique data. A company's data isn't just a byproduct anymore. It's one of its most valuable assets. It's a massive differentiator in the market.
So when we say valuable data, what are we actually talking about? Well, it's pretty much everything. It's how your customers buy, who they are, how they use your products, what they click on. The big takeaway here is that the Fuel for Your AI strategy isn't something you have to go out and find. You already have it.
But, and this is a big but, just having the data isn't enough. It needs to be ready. Honestly, for most companies, the biggest hurdle isn't a lack of data, it's that the data's a mess. It's scattered all over the place, it's poor quality, it's locked away in different systems. Getting your data house in order is the absolute #1 critical first step.
Okay, so we get the big picture, we understand the fuel. Now, let's get down to brass tacks. How are leading companies actually putting this playbook into action in the real world?
Let's take a super common problem, just finding information inside your own company. You know the drill. Before AI, you'd type in some keywords, get back a list of 10 blue links, and then spend the next hour digging through documents. After AI, you just ask a question, like you'd ask a person, and you get a direct, summarized answer pulled from all your company's data. The difference in speed and sanity is a total game changer. And look at how this plays out in customer service. There's a really clear path here. Most companies start small, with a simple bot that can answer basic FAQs. The next level up is a concierge bot that's smart enough to figure out who you are and what you need before handing you off to the right human. But the ultimate goal, that's end-to-end automation, where the AI can handle a whole process like a refund or a claim all on its own. That's where you see the biggest value.
And really, the applications are all over the place, from making e-commerce search way smarter to spotting financial crimes. But you know what they all have in common? Every single successful use case starts by targeting a real, specific business problem first, and then figuring out how AI can solve it, not the other way around.
And that brings us to maybe the most important part of this whole thing. Successfully implementing AI, it's not really a technology project. It's a people project. It's a change management project. And honestly, the biggest challenges are almost always human, not technical. So how do you handle that human side? Well, Ruben Ortega lays out two great approaches.
On one hand, you have the Band-Aid method. Just rip it off. It's a big, top-down announcement where you tell everyone the new plan all at once. On the other hand, you have the iterative approach. You start with a small pilot team, prove that it works, and then gradually roll it out. Which one is right? It completely depends on your company's culture.
At the end of the day, building the right culture for AI takes real work. You have to give teams clear ownership of problems. You need to find those key allies early on who can help you build momentum. It is absolutely crucial to create an environment where people feel safe to ask questions, to be curious. And this is huge. Senior leaders have to walk the walk. And you have to start small to build credibility with some quick, visible wins.
You know, this quote from Natalie Gaveau just says it all. There is nothing that convinces a skeptic like a real-world success story. Start small. Pick a problem you know you can solve. Get that tangible win, because that success story becomes your single best tool for getting everyone else on board. All right, we've covered a ton of ground here, from the 30,000-foot view all the way down to the practical details. So let's boil this all down to the key takeaways you need to start your own AI journey.
Here it is, your playbook in 4 simple moves. Number 1, stop thinking of AI as just a tool and start seeing it as a new language, a fundamental shift. 2, your unique proprietary data is your single greatest competitive advantage. Treat it that way. 3, don't try to boil the ocean. Start with a real specific problem and get a quick win. And finally, number 4, never forget this is a human challenge. You have to lead the cultural shift because technology is just the tool. People are what make it work.
Look, the rules of business are being rewritten right now, as we speak. This is no longer a question of if AI is going to change your industry, it's only a question of when and how. So the only real question left is, are you ready to write your chapter?